read. I mean,
discernible. What do you take analytic truth to be?
Sorry, what do I take? What
analytic truth
to be entailed by the subject?
Facts.
No,
so wait, let me ask a question. Look, no, Reed, ask him. Wait, why don't you believe in God?
Well, I don't believe in a necessary being. I don't think there's any subject that entails existence.
Wait, repeat that. Obviously, my bad. There's like a very rude person in the VC that decided to interrupt, but go ahead.
Yeah, shut the fuck up, yo. Discernible. Let me not talk to Spady. Don't make me talk.
Paulie's not here, man.
I just don't believe in a necessary being. I don't think there's any being whose existence entails existence.
You mean whose essence doesn't
entails existence, rather?
Yeah. So I mean, Reed, yeah, you're fine with perfectly presenting the argument, debating him. Go ahead.
Who, me?
Yeah, who else is named Reed, dumb fuck? So go ahead, mic up and like give the argument and defend it.
Wait, give me a second. Well, you started. I'm about to do something. Okay.
So let me get to know more about your views. Like, when you say you don't think there is a being such that being has an essence that necessarily involves existence, what do you mean? Like, do you just mean that for any given thing that exists, it has an essence distinct from its existence, or do you take a view that like denies essences and reality, or what? Like an essentialist view, what would you take?
I'm not sure that I would deny essences. I just don't think that any particular being has to exist or exist the way that it does. No particular being or set of being must exist or exist the way that it does. Everything that exists can become what it's not.
Everything that... Okay, and when we invoke the term exists, what do we mean by this?
Well, that's a titty twister of a question. Probably the closest to an answer I could give to that is appears in a context, but I don't have a great answer to
that's fine. I think we're on the
exists
same page. Yeah, exists in technicality, I think we'd be on the same page. That is, it refers to something that is partaking within reality, or something that has subsistence within truth. And this thing that has subsistence within truth must have an essence distinct from its existence if we grant that its essence can be otherwise, or if we grant that this thing doesn't have to exist, like you said prior. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So then we're already on the same page when we say for any given thing that exists and is contingent has an essence distinct from its existence, or its own existence, sorry. And that's because what it is devoid of existence. But like my next question then would be like, if we were to group or like, propose the set of all contingent things, given that this thing cannot be self-derivative of its own existence, but something other than it that exists also, but through a different mode, right? Would this then not be a necessary being? Because the only other mode of existence, right? Or the only other modal scope we can attribute to an existent would be necessity?
I am not entirely sure I tracked that. You probably have that written down, right? If you could put it inside chat.
No, I don't have it written down. But okay, so what I'm just saying is that if you take the set of all contingent things, given the fact that it cannot be self-derivative of its own existence, and when I say that, I mean the set itself, unless you disagree, then we could discuss that. It would have to be given existence through a mode of existence that is other than what the set, is. What's it called?
And the negation is contingency.
And that is if the set of all contingents. That is if the set of all contingents is being actualized, then it's only the case that it's actualized by something that is not a contingent, because we've already put all the contingents in a set. So it must be actualized by something other than contingency, which would be non-contingency.
Gotcha. I basically deny the principle of sufficient reason. I think that particular beings, particular sets of beings, can exist without explanation, and dependency would be a kind of explanation they can exist without.
Wait, when you invoke the principle of sufficient reason and then also use simultaneously the word explanation, I guess that's going to refer to a context of having obviously it's going to refer to the context of having a sufficient reason for such thing to be obtaining in reality. But when I say explain, I'm referring to more a causal context. When I say explain, I mean something is causing another thing. I'm not saying this thing has a reason for why it exists, because something can be brute, but still explain another, for example. That makes sense.
Yeah, I think causation is a species of explanation.
Yeah. So we were just using the term explanation in different contexts, different senses. That's what I'm saying. So
he's basically saying that the set of all these not self-derivative existences lacks its existence in and of itself, so it's by virtue of another. And obviously, if you're affirming that this existence is going to be by virtue of another, it has to be extraneous to the set. If it's extraneous to the set, you cannot say it's contingent because it's already going to be in the set, within the set. So it has to be not contingent, which is going to be per logical equivalence is going to be necessary, or double negation necessary.
Well, I'm not sure I followed that. I'm happy to say that there's so granting some other things that I believe, I do think that's like existence itself, that it is necessary that something exists, but nothing in particular, and no particular set of things.
So if you're saying, so nobody has to really grant that these things within the set have to be modally necessary. That isn't going to. Sure, it can be an implication of the argument, but if you accept that there has to exist something, or something existing is necessary, then how is it different from the position that he's presenting?
Because it's not any particular being. You can have a triomni being that ceases to exist or fails to be triomni.
Yeah. So when it comes to these existing things, right, and these existing things are going to be internally explained, if they can fail to exist, and they're not going to be self-derivative by virtue of that reason having to be existent, because you're accepting that thing is going to be existing by virtue of another. A self-derivative existence cannot fail to exist because it's going to be necessary. And if it's not necessary, then it's contingent and is explained by virtue of another, or exists by virtue of another. I'm not really sure if what you're denying within the argument. If you're accepting that, if you're saying that, okay, I accept that there's going to be something extraneous to the set, and this thing has to exist necessarily, but you're saying it's not like a let's just say a particular being in mind, you're still accepting that it's going to be a necessary existence. Now, when we move on to the second stage of the argument, obviously you're going to have to prove these notions of it being not contingent. Obviously, you're gonna have to accept that it is not composite. It has these divine properties and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Well, look, the sort of necessary existence I'm talking about, because it's no particular being, it could just be a rock, right? Like a rock would fulfill that category of necessary existence.
No, rock wouldn't. Rock is contingent upon
my version of it.
Rock started to exist. Whatever starts to exist is somehow contingent to some cause.
Well, that's
therefore
fine.
It's not necessary.
I'm not talking about the origin of things. I'm not talking about origins.
No, we're also not talking about the origin. This says no necessary connection with the origin. This is a connection with dependency relationship. A rock literally has a dependency relationship to the lava which caused the rock to be the rock.
Or
the water, whatever.
Between me and Spade, we're not invoking possible and stuff like that. We're basically just saying, or when we say something is contingent, we're saying it in it's a dependency notion. So
look, when you bring up the principle reason, you're invoking explanation in a different sense that we're invoking. When we say explanation, as I mentioned, we're speaking in a context that deals with metaphysics. We're speaking in the context of causality, right? Causation.
Actually, look, the thing is, if you don't accept the PSR, I could present a deductive argument for
that's another alternative, but it's insignificant to the point we're trying to make. We can
I can run through it. Look, I'll run through my PSR argument, and then you can tell me what premise you reject.
I mean, even if you don't accept a PSR, right? You can still have a contingency argument without the PSR.
Exactly. So I can run through the PSR argument.
Give the argument, post a reading.
There's an X such that X exists without sufficient reason. If X exists, then X is distinct from nothing.
No, post it in the chat.
Yeah. Do you have it written formally?
Yeah, I do have it written formally.
Can you post it, please? I want to say this.
Yeah. Let me see.
Yeah.
I haven't fully finished with the argument, but yeah, this is an idea.
Generally, to be honest, it doesn't have to be perfect.
But I'm trying to. I was going through dyadic and monadic predicates and stuff like that. I think this have to do something in the argument, but you get the idea of the argument. It's like saying that something, if it's distinguished from nothing, then that accounts for the thing for why it exists. If there's nothing that accounts for why it exists, then it doesn't exist simply because it's going to be indistinguishable from nothing or non-existent.
Yeah, exactly. That's the same thing as if you affirm brute facts. You affirm literally that something is explained by nothing. And nothing then you affirmed. You reified nothing.
There's no distinction between something and nothing.
So JD, stop posting my whole argument. Delete that shit. And miss my name on there. Delete it. Anyways, yeah. If Y accounts for something being distinguished from nothing, then Y is a sufficient reason for X. That's what I take a reason or a sufficient reason for it to be. And then we're basically saying that reason has to be from itself or from another. And if you're agreeing that these existences are not going to be self-derivative and it's going to be derived by virtue of another, we're saying that the set of all these not self-derivative existences have to depend, or it's explained, or it's going to receive existence by virtue of something that's extraneous to the set itself. And obviously, something that's extraneous to the set cannot be contingent by virtue of it. If it's contingent, then it's going to be within the set. So the negation of contingency is obviously going to be necessity by virtue of not contingent equaling necessity. Because if you define necessity as can fail, or necessity cannot fail, and contingency as can fail, then the negation of can fail is going to be cannot fail. Therefore, it's under my analytical criteria, that's necessity. And that's basically the argument.
So 3, if X is distinct from nothing, then there's a Y such that Y accounts for the distinction, but Y isn't existence as appearance in the context, the distinction. Like premise 2 is the distinction.
So what I'm trying to say, like, is this in relation to like?
Yeah. So let me just, we're discussing with discernible. Yeah. So when it comes to something accounting for why it exists, we're just saying that if nothing accounts for existing, then obviously it's going to be indistinguishable from nothing. If you say that, okay, there's a distinguishable feature between X and Y, or let's say that there's a distinguishable feature between me and nothing, then obviously there's going to be something that accounts for that distinction. And that thing that accounts for is either going to be self-derivative or not self-derivative. If it's not self-derivative, the set of all not self-derivative existences is going to be I don't know why Brother Magnar is saying that, but anyways, thank you, I appreciate it. Let me just yeah. If you're accepting that these things don't lack existence in of itself and they receive existence by virtue of an extraneous factor, then the set of all not. That's exactly that's what you accepted was no, because look, the set itself lacks existence in of itself. So if it lacks existence in of itself, it's impossible for the set to even be like an existent thing within the set if it lacks existence in of itself without that extraneous factor that effectuates it.
Yeah, no, but when I deny the PSR, any particular set doesn't need an explanation.
But I already look. The thing is, though, I already gave an account for the PSR. You're not giving me an argument, or you're not giving me the formal rebuttal. The formal rebuttal is just going to be in the rejection of a premise within my argument, or the denial of the validity of the argument. And obviously, my argument is going to be valid. And you haven't denied anything within the argument. The only thing you said, you questioned number 3, and I gave you an explanation to that. If you're asking for another explanation, I already gave it to you. And if you have any contentions with it, I can explain it further and further.
Yeah. So you speak pretty quickly. I didn't hear exactly like why, if X doesn't have a reason for existing, then it's not distinct from nothing.
I think what he's trying to say is basically we would affirm that X has a reason for existence either way. We're just going to say the reason is nothing.
Exactly. So if you're saying that X can exist without a reason, we're saying that a reason is just going to be why or how it's distinguished from nothing. And how it's distinguished from nothing is obviously going to be from itself or from another. If it's from itself, it's going to be self-derivative. We're basically at God. And if, let's just say X. We're at X. We don't have to say God at the moment. But if this thing receives existence by virtue of another, then the set of...
To exist is have a reason to exist.
I'm saying the reason is why it's distinguished or how it's distinguished from nothing. If you're saying that there can exist something that doesn't have a reason under my view, you're basically saying that thing is identical to nothing. And if you're identical to nothing, then you don't exist. I can provide a reductive to the argument, and you can see the conclusion that there exists an X such that X, if X exists without a sufficient reason, then X is a metaphysical impossibility.
I'm not tracking why a thing's reason for existing is the distinction between existing and not existing.
That's my under my analytical criteria. That's my view. I'm saying that's the reason. That's my formulation of PSR. So if let me give you my actual formulation of PSR, and you can tell me what you disagree with. Let me see. I posted it. So
to be honest, really, I think we could have done much better to have went without the PSR.
Yeah, so alright, so whatever exists must have that in virtue of what is distinguished from nothing, by virtue of itself or from another. That's literally my PSR. You can say PSR can be many things. People say there's many ways to formulate the PSR, but this is my formulation.
Follow your speech.
Whatever exists must have that in virtue of what which it is distinguished from nothing, by virtue of itself or from another. That's my PSR. And that's my so basically under my reasoning, you're gonna have to affirm that that thing is going to be self-derivative or not self-derivative. And if you affirm that this thing that exists does not, this thing exists by virtue of another, I'm saying the set of all of these not self-derivative existence lack existence in of itself. They receive existence by virtue of an extraneous factor, like I explained, and it cannot be contingent because it's going to be within the set. And if it's not contingent, the negation of contingency is going to be necessity. And if you accept that it's necessary, like you said that X has to exist necessarily at the beginning of the conversation, then we can move on to a stage 2 argument. But guess what, though? If you affirm that, then you're literally disregarding the fact that there is a necessary existence. And that there is not the necessary existence. You're disregarding the fact that you said that.
Right. Could you post your formulation of the PSR?
I did. It's in the side chat.
Oh, is it the conclusion?
The argument itself, or are you asking for my PSR?
Your PSR.
Let me post it. Whatever exists must have that in virtue of which it is distinguished from nothing, from itself, or by virtue of another. Alright, that's my PSR. Yeah, so I presented the argument, the formal argument. You haven't presented a formal rebuttal. You asked me to explain premise 3, and I proved to you that premise 3 is a negation of that. You're literally affirming a contradiction. So, I presented my PSR, and I'm wondering if you have any contentions within the argument. You accept that the existence is going to be self-derivative, and that set itself has to be effectuated by virtue of the set having not self-derivative existences. They have to, because they lack existence in itself. Then you're affirming the argument. The conclusion is just that there's a necessary existence that's extraneous to the set.
I don't see why, like, I guess maybe I'm still stuck on number 3. I don't see why existence without reason is not can't be the why.
Yeah, I'm saying the reason is how it's distinguished.
You are affirming. Yeah. You are affirming the reason anyways. That's what you're saying, basically. Exactly. You are saying the reason for the existence is nothing. So you are in fact against this, basically.
It thus has no reasons for its existence, thus that's the reason against its existence. It has no reason to obtain.
Nothing be a reason.
Hey, that's what I'm saying.
That is our point. Are you
that's our point.
Yeah, but you said the
reason name is discernible.
But it's not a reason.
You are indiscernible, wallahi.
Right?
Wait, hold on.
Nothing is not a reason.
No. When you say, but that's the point, right? When you say something can exist without a reason, this sentence can literally be reformulated to say something exists with a reason which is nothing.
Exactly.
That's literally the same thing. And this,
why are you reifying
you are affirming, even in this sentence, you are affirming PSR. That's our point. And therefore, because nothing can't be a reason for something's existence, because if nothing is the reason, the thing doesn't exist. Therefore, there's always something which is either self-derivative as the reason for the existence, or there's something external.
Yeah, and if you deny both cases of like explanatory factors, then you're saying X obtains with no reason as to which Y X obtains. Thus, it's indiscernible as to like impossibilities because they have no reason to obtain at all.
Exactly.
Can I hear Jan speaking?
Right. So I just posted why I don't think there needs to be.
Are you saying antecedent in like in a temporal sense or a logical sense?
I'm sorry.
In a temporal sense or a logical sense?
Well, I don't know what the distinction between temporal and logical would be. It's logically possible.
No.
Are you serious? He's asking.
And yes, it can take place in time.
Is the antecedent here temporally? So just after temporally, right?
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Logically after. Something causes this something to be.
Yeah, temporally antecedent. Or both actually.
Temporally, we're not talking about temporality. This has nothing to do with temporality.
The arguments doesn't assume any theory of time. It doesn't assume any. It doesn't even assume that eternality or infinite regress is impossible.
Funnily enough, it doesn't even assume that causal infinitism is impossible. You can appeal to causal infinitism, but again, like anything that exists anything that exists, even if it's infinite, if it's not self-derivative, then it's derived by another. If you put them in a set, then it's derived extraneously. That's the whole point of the argument. So appealing to some sort of like, oh, what if I appeal to causal infinitism, a theory of time? That's trivial. I can concede all of those. But the whole point of the argument is like, for any existent x, if x is self-derivative, then it's God. If x is not self-derivative, then it derives it by another.
But I think what I just posted makes causal infinitism.
Relax yourself. Look, if the set of all non-self-derivative existences put in a set, then it's derived by an extraneous factor.
But I think what I just posted makes causal infinitism irrelevant.
What did you
but the thing is though, if you're saying that event can obtain, let's just say that's this X state of affairs. If you're saying that it obtains without a reason, yeah, I know what you're trying to say.
Doesn't the word antecedent mean like after? Like, what do you mean after reason?
No,
We're not talking about reasons after.
before. No. Antecedent is before.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Antecedent is the P, and then the Q is the consequent. Okay. So look, what's his name? Discernible. So when it comes to the events, let's say X state of affair obtains, and that thing, if it's not distinguishable from nothing, then it's identical to nothing. That's literally what we're saying. Then it doesn't obtain. It doesn't exist. That state of affairs does not exist. So number 3 is literally affirming.
That's what's confusing me, because the thing's existence is what distinguishes it.
Yeah, exactly. And that thing, existence is derived from itself or from another. Literally, that's literally.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's exhaustive and it's exclusive.
But listen, if you appeal to the state of affairs that existing without a reason, it'll be just indiscernible from nothingness. That's the whole point.
But if derived from itself is some version of aseity or necessary existence, that's just not true, right? Contingent existence can be the Y that marks the distinction between being and nothing.
Wait, repeat what you said? That's a whole different discussion, but repeat what you said.
Contingent existence can be the mark. It can be the distinction between being and nothing.
Can be the distinction between being and nothing?
Right. Contingent appearance and contingent disappearance.
Yeah, I know. A state of affairs can be the distinction between it existing and nothingness. What is it called? If and only if it's explained extraneously, sure.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
lack of explanation. If it's not explained extraneously, it's self-derivative.
Then it's indiscernible from nothingness.
Yeah, how so? I don't understand why contingent existence.
One more. You know what's the funny thing about this argument? I could literally burn the shift and tell you what's the difference between for any x that exists and doesn't have a reason for its existence and a possibility. So what's the discernible factor?
The distinction between something that exists with no reason and what was the second one?
And whatever that cannot obtain.
Something that cannot obtain? Like a contradiction?
Impossibility. Yeah.
Contradiction can't appear in any context.
Just begging the question. You're just referring
Wait, what question did I beg?
Wait, listen.
I didn't give an argument for the claim, so I definitely didn't beg the question.
Discernible, relax yourself. Look, for any X that exists, if it's not self-explained, nor is it explained extraneously, then it's indiscernible from nothingness. Why, you may ask? Because it has no reason for its existence, essentially or non-essentially. It has no reason to obtain necessarily, nor contingently. Thus, it has no reason to obtain at all. That's a reason against this. Okay, anyways, that's a reason against its existence. The fact that it's devoid of any reason to obtain.
Why is that a reason against it? Why is that an argument against its existence?
Because it has no reason to exist. It's devoid of. It's inexplicable. Its existence is inexplicable. That's the entire point. It has devoid of any reason to exist.
That's like saying square circles exist. They're not real things. They have no reason to exist.
Impossibilities are inexplicable.
What's the contradiction?
As much as relax yourself. Look, and impossibilities are inexplicable as much as these existent items that are, or I will call brute contingent objects. They're as inexplicable as each other.
What's the contradiction?
Oh my God. Homie, I'm walking you through an informal. The argument is formalized there, but I'm walking you through step by step informally to try to get you to understand the issue, the underlying issue. If you want the, what is it called, the contradiction of propositional form like P and not P. Sure, maybe I could cash it out later, but the whole point here, underlying issue is that you'd be, in fact, this Brute contingent object would be indiscernible from nothingness. They're, what is it called? Due to the fact that they're both inexplicable as much as each other.
So, like, I can give you like a quick model of this, right? You can imagine a world.
You're not responding to what he's saying. You're just giving examples and examples. Respond to what we're saying. Where's the substance?
Exactly.
Well, I mean, I'll explain why.
So what do you deny? What do you deny? What do you deny? His reasoning. What do you deny?
Yeah, I'll explain why a contingent being with no reason can exist.
No. What do you deny in his reasoning? He gave an explanation. If you're not listening and you're just spouting out nonsense, what's the point of even talking with you?
I mean, I was just like assuming a bunch of things against my position.
Discernible. Let's cut to the chase. Okay, look, for this Brute contingent object is inexplicable due to the fact that, okay, it's inexplicable. It's not explained by another, nor is it explained by itself. It's inexplicable. Now, given that fact is inexplicable, possibilities are also as much as inexplicable, share the inexplicability aspect as much as that Brute contingent object in question. They both have no reason to obtain at all, and they both have reasons against their existence. Now, can you please contend with that? Don't go into like causal finitism theory of time. I don't give a fuck. Like, with all due respect, please, like, content with like the main point.
Yeah. So, like, I don't think you said anything that proves that contingent existence can't be a mark between being and non-being.
Nobody's denying that. We're saying that could.
Dude, listen. No, please.
The reason that it can be.
I'll make it really simple, okay? I can't believe I have to soup this low, but I'll make it really simple. Contingent objects that are explicable can obtain. Contingent objects that are inexplicable cannot obtain.
Yeah,
you see the
why
difference?
not?
Because they're inexplicable. They have no reason to be existent. And what has no reason to exist doesn't exist.
No, don't overwhelm.
That's the question. But that's the thing you guys seem to be just assuming.
Listen, discernible. I literally put it in the simplest of terms. Even somebody who's not familiar with philosophy would understand it. Okay.
He doesn't know what
I heard your conclusion.
Inexplicable means, man.
Yeah. So look, it's crazy. By the way, it's crazy how you're in like Joe Schmidt's server and you don't even know what inexplicable means. Well, look, listen, look. So let's track back. Okay, you understand. Brute contingent objects, they're inexplicable. They're not explained by another nor self-explained. But them being inexplicable, they're as inexplicable as impossibilities. They're devoid of any reason to obtain. Thus, that's a reason against their existence. Just as impossibilities have reasons against their existence. What is the contention?
You have no reasons to exist.
No jumping. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, look, you said it's inexplicable, and that's a reason against its existence. But that assumes contingent existence can't mark a difference between being and nothing.
Nobody's denying.
Oh my god! Nobody's denying. Listen. That is not denied, homie. Listen, who the fuck denies contingency? Oh, am I a pantheist to deny contingency? No. Listen, look, please. Actually, focus on the point. Explicable contingent objects can instantiate. They can obtain, but they're either self-explained or not. If they're self-explained, then it's not even contingent anymore. It's necessary. That's an account for God. If it is not self-explained, then it's explained by another. That means it's explained extraneously. Now, you're introducing something called inexplicable contingent objects. They're inexplicable. They're devoid of any reason for their existence. Thus, that's a reason against their existence. It's not merely contingent object simpliciter. We're talking about brute, inexplicable contingent objects. Do you understand?
Yeah, why? Why is that a problem?
Oh my god. Listen. I'll take you the path of just me being like. Listen. Identity makes no assumptions, distinctions too. Point out the distinction between impossibilities. One minute. Listen. Anyways, let me meet the troll. Impossibilities and brute contingent objects, they're both inexplicable. Discern them.
So you said impossibilities and brute contingent possibilities?
No, brute contingent objects.
Impossibilities and brute contingent objects, distinguish them.
Yeah.
Well, impossibilities, I don't know how else to phrase it. Like impossibilities can't appear in any context, and brute contingent objects can.
What's the reason?
Well, like an impossibility would be a contradictory object. If every being is capable of becoming
No,
what
I'm
it's
talking
not.
about brute contingent. Why can't they appear?
Contradictory things?
No, brute contingent objects.
Of course they can.
Why?
Because there's no contradiction in them appearing.
Okay, that is an account. That's literally saying they're explicable. Good job. They're not even brute anymore.
Sorry, lack of
You
contradiction explains why something exists? That can't be right.
Yes, that's an account. That's a metaphysical account. Yes, and actually,
Sorry,
in
does
logic,
lack
there's
of
called
contradiction
logical
cause things to
consistency.
exist?
Listen, no. Look, you're saying it's inexplicable. Inexplicable means you're devoid of any reason at all.
Yeah,
Any
lack of
account
contradiction
at all.
doesn't explain
You
anything.
just gave. Want to relax yourself? You just gave an account. You gave a reason. That's why I walked you through it. That's why I said, okay, let me take this another route.
Wait, how does
And you
lack of
literally-
contradiction explain something?
Oh my God, what do you take explain it to be?
I mean, a reason that why something exists or exists the way that it does. Why would lack of contradiction
And
play
what
that
is
role?
reason? What is reason taken to be here?
Reason, explanation.
So explanation is the reason.
Right?
Reason is
Anything
explanation.
that'll, like, just the reason why one thing exists and exists the way that it does.
Bro, you're stumbling upon yourself. Look.
Well, no,
actually,
I'm not.
look-
I want you to explain why lack of contradiction would explain why something exists. Like, how is that even possible?
That's literally an explanatory account.
So
That's
what
an
exists
account.
because
That's
it's non-contradictory?
yo, listen. That's an
Now,
explanation.
give me an example
right
of
there.
something that exists because it's non-contradictory.
No, not because it's not contradictory. Wait, no, you're dumb. Listen, there's a difference here. Listen. No. Wallahi, that is
You
a
asking
scammer.
for him to
No, one minute.
Wait,
Look,
I'm
discernible,
saying
discernible.
non-contradiction doesn't
Discernible.
explain
Look, listen.
why any
You're
particular
saying a
thing
lot of things without
exists.
substance. Look, you might be discernible
Whoa,
from brain
dude,
cells. Look at me.
you're
Look,
talking
listen.
way more than me, right?
No, you.
I'm
Homie,
saying
I've taken you through
non-contradiction
baby steps.
doesn't
Listen,
explain
no.
why any particular thing
Listen.
exists. Are you
Homie, oh
disputing
my
that?
God. Listen to me. Look, there's a
Are you
difference.
disputing that? I don't understand.
Oh my God! Can you shut up? Listen. I didn't say.
Are you
I didn't
disputing
say.
it?
Listen, I didn't say because it's what is called. If something is non-contradictory, that implicates one way that is an existent item.
Yeah,
I didn't
exactly.
say
It has
that.
nothing to do with
That's
whether or
an
not something
account of its.
exists.
Yo, dumbass! It's an account of its possibility. Don't say yeah exactly as if it's a gotcha
Exactly.
moment. That's a
I agree
complete
it's an
straw
account
man.
of its possibility.
Listen, you
not whether or
agree.
not it
You agree
exists.
exactly. How do you account for the possibility to begin with? Is to give a reason. If no reason is given for the possibility, then it's devoid of possibility. That's the entire point. It's not even a fucking hard concept to grasp.
To give possibility in terms of
not possible, therefore
probability.
impossibility. You're literally saying that it's indiscernible from impossibility.
Discernible. Where'd you learn philosophy from?
Mumbai?
Mumbai.
Your mom.
Don't jump. No jumping. Okay, now, did you understand the point? I even went down to the most, like the smallest steps for you.
Yeah, you're just wrong.
Literally, I'm literally being charitable here. You should actually thank me after this for educating me. Listen to me, look.
Yeah, you're just wrong.
Possibility here, there's an account as to why it's possible. If it's devoid of any account to be possible, if there's no reason for it to be possible at all, then it's what?
Wait, no reason to be possible?
If its possibility and its consistency is inexplicable, then what?
If its existence is inexplicable, then it exists without a reason.
Possibility.
If its possibility has no reason? Well,
Yes.
If we're talking in terms of probability, that's going to depend on
Oh,
what does exist in a particular world.
yo, are you dumb? Are you?
But if we're not talking
look,
about probability,
listen, we're
if
talking
it's just
about probability here. We're
possibility,
talking about coherency.
Probability, not possibility.
Exactly. Oh my God! Listen, look, discernible. You're really,
then possibility is just
you're really
non-contradiction.
confused. Listen, by the way, probability.
Then possibility
by
is
the way,
just non-contradiction.
listen, yo, relax. Look,
There's the answer to your
now
question.
I'm talking to you. Listen, I'm talking to you. Listen.
I know
look
you
at
want
me.
to overtalk.
There
You're not listening.
Yeah, homie,
You
you
asked
gave
what
a
accounts
straw
for the
man. You gave a
possibility.
straw man. No. Listen.
Bare possibility is
Look,
non-contradiction.
There. What?
Wait, what
If you're,
example
devoid
did you
of,
just give?
if you're devoid of possibility, then you're impossible. You're indiscernible.
Exactly. I've been telling him
that's what
that
I'm
since the
denying.
beginning. If listen. The notion of possibility here for that contingent object or Brew contingent object is inexplicable. Has no reason to be possible. No reason for it to be possible. Don't tell me probability like an idiot. Probability has something to do with this strictly. Listen, it has no reason. It's devoid of any account of possibility. This object has no reason to be possible. That's a reason against it being possible.
No, I
It
think you're
has
just
no
confusing
account
possibility
for
and
it being
probability.
possible. Yo, relax. Look, when you say it's non-contradictory, that is
I
an
know you wanna
account for
preach,
its
dude.
coherency. That is an account for its possibility.
It's a reason for why it's possible. If you say that I take possibility X is possible if and only if there's no contradiction and obtaining, you're giving an account of why it's possible.
For
But when you're
bare
saying it's
possibility,
brute,
yes.
hey, calm down. I don't know. Sit down. You're getting educated now. Calm down.
For
But
bare
look,
possibility, yeah,
but
all
look,
you need is non-contradiction.
No, what I'm saying is for brute. I don't know why anyone muted me, but look, when it comes to brute contingency, you're saying that there's no reason for why it's possible. That's literally what you claim it to be, and
No.
also my argument. Yeah, you are. So if you're saying that there's a reason for why it's
I'm
possible,
saying no
then
reason
you're
why it
saying
exists or doesn't
then it's not
exist.
brute. Then it's not brute. Then
Sorry, if there's no reason why it exists, it's not brute.
oh my god, if you're giving an account or a reason for why it exists, i.e., is possible, then guess what? It's not brute anymore. You're giving an account. Accounts is a reason.
Yeah, I'm not talking when I say everything's contingent, right? I'm not talking about the possible existence of things. I'm talking about things that exist. They're
But that's
let's
the
go
whole
back.
point. That's listen, discernible. Look, that's the whole point. Now, look, you would agree or something. What is called something can obtain if and only if it's non-contradictory. Correct? Can. Don't tell me until its existence
Yes.
like last time, like an idiot. Listen, something can obtain if and only
Wait,
if
why are you insulting me?
it's non-contradictory.
Like, why are you being a dick?
Listen, look.
You're
Listen to me.
being
Look.
a dick, dude. Stop being a dick.
I'm
No,
being
no.
a dick. That's crazy.
Wait.
Look, listen. This dick is educating you. Okay, listen to me. Look.
You put words in my
Now-
mouth.
What the fuck?
Okay, pause. Anyways, look.
Wait, Biana. By the way, discernible. Are you recording for your YouTube?
One
You're getting
moment.
shit
Listen.
Of course I am.
Whoever muted me, I'll time you out. Hold on. I don't
I know.
fucking
No,
like trolls when I'm
check
trying
who
to do.
muted me and you. Check who muted.
No, it's Spady. Wallah, I'll time you out next time.
No,
Anyways,
okay.
look, and I'm not gonna time you. Anyways, look. So look, you would agree something can obtain if and only if it's non-contradictory, correct?
Yes.
Yes, good job. And is that an account? Is that a reason
For it to exist? No.
for its possibility, for its coherency?
Is that explanation of why it could exist? Yes.
Good job. Now, when you say a broke contingent object is inexplicable entirely, its possibility is even explicable. That means it has no reason to be possible. That means it cannot obtain at all.
Sorry. So how does what does that have to do with the reason why it actually
No.
does exist?
Listen. Read.
Or actually does not exist?
You heard what he said. No.
Or
listen,
actually
he's gonna do
does
some
exist the way that it
dishonest
does.
So look.
Listen, read. He said that is an explanation as to why it can obtain. You literally said that verbatim. And what? By the way, I got news that you're recording
Yes,
this.
I don't deny
hope
that.
you record this so you actually stumble upon yourself and I get that clip out of you
I
and show how
don't
much of a
deny that at all.
dumbass you are.
But guess what, discernible. I'm recording.
Yeah,
So
we're
it doesn't
recording.
matter.
I
It
don't
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
deny that at all. That non-contradiction is a condition of being
No, no,
possible.
when
Yeah.
you're saying
Yeah,
it's-
exactly. No, 1 minute. You don't deny that at all. Exactly. If you say for this X that is inexplicable, that means its possibility is inexplicable too. Its possibility is devoid of any accounts. Devoid of any accounts. Thus, it's impossible. Do you
Yeah,
get it
why
now?
it exists. How does non-contradiction explain why something in fact
he's
does
saying,
exist?
When
He's not talking about existence, he's talking about-
Calm down.
You're getting in circles. You're getting in circles. It doesn't accept the
To be clear, my claim is particular existence is
There's no need, to be honest.
Discernible. 1 second.
But you understand my claim is that particular existences are
Calm
contingent,
down.
right?
Calm down. It doesn't
But
matter.
you
no,
understand
no.
that's the
You're
claim, right?
Oh my god, I don't want to mute you to calm down.
Not
You're
possibilities.
freaking out. You're freaking out.
Existences.
1 second. When you're saying something is brute, you're saying that it's devoid of all explanation. So when you're saying that all, it includes
Its
it's
existence.
possibility being explained. But if you're saying that brute thing has an explanation for its possibility, then it's
Its
not
existence.
brute anymore. It's
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Then it's
existence
an
I'm
account.
talking
Then it's
about.
explicable. Then it's not inexplicable.
It doesn't matter. No. If X is explained, it doesn't mean like, oh, it's explained in totality. Oh, this and that. I have to explain this. No, it's not
Yeah,
saying that.
exactly. By the way,
No,
look,
it's not the
discernible.
possibility of the thing I'm
discernible.
talking about.
Yo, relax yourself. Like discernible.
It-
I
it's
don't
not the
know. Listen,
possibility of the
I
thing
don't know
I'm
if you think
talking
bro
about. You
contingent
understand
objects
that,
are like.
right?
Listen, yo, don't interrupt me. Listen.
But you
Look,
understand I'm not talking about the possibility of a
listen.
thing. I'm talking about
When
the actual
master speaks,
existence
listen. When
or
the master speaks, you
non-existence.
zip it. Okay. Listen to me. Look.
But you understand what I
Now
mean.
there is no such thing. There is no such thing as a brute contingent object that is 99% inexplicable, and there's like 1% explicability. That just makes it explicable. You dumbass. I don't know where you were trying to. I don't even know where you're
I don't
trying
know
to get.
why
at.
you think I said anything
You
resembling
literally
that.
said and not being. Yo. Listen. You literally said and
Wait,
not
why do
being.
you think I said anything resembling
It
that?
being non-contradictory. Listen, it being non-contradictory. That is an account, an explanatory account as to why it's possible. Now, if it's possibility, it's devoid of any reason and it's inexplicable. An account like that can't be handed in because we're assuming that it's inexplicable. Do you understand now?
It's
Yeah,
devoid
but
of
I'm not
all
talking. When I
explanation.
talk about what's contingent, I'm not talking about the possibilities. I'm talking about the existences of things.
So you're literally saying that
The
things have
existence
no-
of things is contingent.
Listen, listen.
I take
discernible.
contingency to be
Look.
absolute.
Okay.
No, contingency has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Sorry,
I think
what's
contingency
wrong
to be
in what I just
absolute.
said?
Listen, like.
Right? My
I'm
thesis
so
is not
sorry.
about the possibility of things.
Listen. Do you think?
It's
do you
about their
think,
actual
do you
existence.
Think, do you think? Yo, idiot! Look, do you think logical consistency is a precondition for something to exist?
Yes.
Okay, if something
To
cannot
exist as a
satisfy that
contingent
condition,
thing
can it
specifically.
exist? If something can satisfy that condition, can it exist?
If something cannot satisfy it,
Yeah.
no. Contradictory contingent objects can't exist.
Contradictory
What?
contingent object. What the fuck?
I don't know why you're laughing. What's weird about that? Do you think contradictory contingent objects can exist?
What does it mean for it to be? What does it mean for it to be contingent? What is a necessary precondition for a contingent object?
Listen. Look, a contradiction is affirmation and negation of the very same proposition. So an object that is an affirmation and negation of the very same proposition. What the fuck are you saying, dude? You're actually.
No, an object that is what it is not. Is what it is and is what it is not. Can't exist. Like the Trinity.
Listen. Oh, wait, what the fuck? Why did you take that jab on the Trinity? What? Wait, hold on. I know. Do you believe
Because
the
as I
Trinity is
understand the
impossible?
Trinity, it is what it is and is what it is not.
Wait, look at this guy. Look at this guy.
Okay,
Look at this
nigga, just take a jab on the
Yo,
Christian.
did somebody say Trinity?
Okay, let me.
I don't
You're
mean to
fucking
derail.
crackhead.
Anyways.
What is this PFP is a crackhead?
Let's go back. No,
Discernible, yeah?
guys. Let's go back to substance. Okay, listen. Discernible.
Discernible.
Discernible. You agreed. What is it called? Something can exist. What is it called? You said a logical consistency is a precondition for something to exist. Correct? You
For
agreed
a
to that.
contingent thing to exist, yes.
Listen. By the way, it's also for something that is necessary too. As for anything that exists. But look, and
Well,
that's just a small correction on your
We
part.
can disagree on that.
Yo, We can disagree on what something can be necessary and not logically consistent. You fucking idiot.
If a thing is what it is and is what it is not, then it can't change into what it is not.
What the fuck does that even mean? What does that even mean?
What the fuck? What
This is what I told you at the beginning of the convo. We
If a
don't know what
thing-
you mean.
If a thing exists and does not exist,
Discernible,
then it can't cease to exist.
Discernible, I'll ask you one question quickly. Have you read Continental or Analytic Philosophy 1?
I've only read what your mom gave me.
Oh, man, like, what the fuck?
I fucked your mom. I fucked your mom.
Wait, what did that come from? Where did that come from?
nigga.
Where did that come from? Wallah, you wasn't like
Wait.
He crashed out. No, you pushed him to his limit.
I fucked your whole because some.
So when you're
One minute, discernible. No, read, leave him to me. Discernible. Now I'll beat the fuck out of you. Listen, I'll slam you. Now listen, discernible, you fucking retarded piece of shit, you dumb fuck. Listen to me, look. You retard,
You're
you
so triggered,
antisocial
dude.
little loser, you fucking socially autistic dumb bitch. Now you agreed for any X
You're
that
the one who's
exists,
mad
it
on
has to have a
Discord, dude.
precondition, it has to have a precondition of logical consistency, and you agreed logical consistency is an explanatory account. You dumb fuck. That means it cannot
not.
obtain because it cannot satisfy that condition.
Of
You agreed
what?
to that too. That means brew contingent objects cannot obtain. You dumb
I
bitch,
agreed
you
it's an
fucking
explanation
retard.
of what? Of what
It's an
exactly?
explanation of what? Of its consistency, you fucking retard. Under a logical
No,
model.
the consistency,
a
the
logical
logical
model
possibility is explanation of what exactly?
Well,
It's
he
an
just answered your
explanation
question.
as to why it's consistent. It's non-contradictory. You fucking idiot.
That non-contradiction is an explanation of non-contradiction?
What?
You said I agreed that logical consistency is an explanation of what?
Logical consistency is an explanatory account as to why X is logically consistent.
Yeah, isn't that just saying the same thing twice?
Isn't that?
Yeah, yes, I agree.
But
Logical
an
consistency
account,
is logical
listen,
consistency.
account here is that it's non-contradictory. That's why it's logically consistent.
Okay, and that makes something possible. Yes, I'll agree to that.
Yeah.
But it's not an
Would
explanation
you agree?
of why
Would
something
you agree?
actually
Would you agree?
exists
Would
or does
no,
not
I'm gonna-
exist.
possible, right? No, you're saying it makes it possible. Let's say X is devoid of that thing. That makes it possible. What is it?
Impossible. That's the whole point.
No. What is the negation of possibility? If it's devoid of that, that makes it possible. What's the negation of that?
You mean if it's devoid of logical consistency?
Yes.
Then it can't be a contingent object. It can't exist as a contingent
No,
object.
hey, answer my question. I said no. Answer my questions. Either possible or impossible. If it's devoid of what makes it possible, what is it?
Oh yeah, if it doesn't meet a condition of possibility, then it's impossible.
Hey, I don't need a trauma dump. It's either or yes or no. It's either possible or impossible. Pick your
Yes,
poison, Absurdus.
impossible things are impossible.
Contradictory contingent object.
What?
I think contingency be absolute.
Why are you laughing at the idea of a non-contradictory contingent object?
No, listen. Like,
Just to point out, you're the ones who are like reduced to laughing and insulting here. That's you guys, not me.
discernible because you're a retard. Anyways, look, discernible. Look, listen.
You insulted most.
Now listen. Discernible. Now, if something doesn't satisfy the precondition of logical consistency, can it obtain?
No, I've already said contradictory contingent objects.
Okay,
can't
good
exist.
job. You agreed with that. Now, look, exactly. Now, if it doesn't satisfy that condition, it cannot obtain. Now, if it cannot be, if something cannot give that account to that thing in question, that cannot satisfy the logical consistency and condition? No, it cannot because it's inexplicable. It cannot be handed that account. If it cannot be handed that account, then it's devoid of that account. Then it cannot obtain.
What do you mean by
As
handed
earlier
that
you agreed.
account?
That's just colloquial language of like you cannot account for why.
Can't account for why what?
For why it's
It's consistent.
Oh my god, you're going in circles now. You have no response.
Wait, you mean like epistemically can't account for it
Oh my
being
God.
contingent or
Nigga,
not?
what? No.
No,
He's not talking epistemically. He's talking
Nigga,
about.
is this guy good? No,
Like,
It's
alright,
just by
uh,
hypothesis,
okay,
right?
One second. I'll give you an informal explanation. X is possible if and only if what? X
How
is
is
possible
it?
if and only if what?
What, as in bare logical possibility, it's
Hey,
non-contradiction.
discernible. Answer my question. X is
As in
possible.
bare
if and only if
logical
what?
possibility.
This is
It's
Reed. This is
non-contradiction.
Joseph remembers. Reed, this is Joseph.
Joe Smith, he gets early access to his paper, though.
Nigga paying for his page.
Sorry,
That's what he.
what's wrong with the answer?
But no, guess what? Discernible. You know how retarded you are. Do you know when I
What's
talk
wrong
to
with
Joe
the answer?
Smith? When
You know, listen. You agreed. Go.
1 second. When I talked to Joe Schmidt, and when he also talked to Cosmic Skeptic, whatever, you know, he actually agreed with the stage with arguments. He had no contentions.
I don't know
You
who
know-
Joe
you know
Smith
that,
is.
Actually, you know, by the you know that this argument against what is called inexplicable broke contingent objects, you know, it's within the literature. You know, there's actually better responses to give than whatever just garbage you just gave us. You know, by the way, you actually implicitly agreed to the conclusion, but you're just, I don't know, there's like a dick in your mouth. You don't want to say it.
And
You
how
said,
so? How did I agree?
no. Listen, retard. Look,
Yeah.
you said, yeah, for something to obtain, it has to be logically consistent. And logical consistency is an explanation. You literally said, yes, it's an account. Now, if something is inexplicable, then you cannot give that account. It's inexplicable. It's devoid of account.
Yeah.
That means it
If it's
cannot
devoid
satisfy
of its
logical
account of why it's
consistency.
logically
That means that
consistent.
you cannot obtain. You literally, listen, you agreed to all of that, but I yet again,
Oh my
look,
god, he's
there's
retarded.
just
An
like dick in
account
your
of
mouth.
why it's logically consistent. If you're saying it's brute,
Yeah,
then
so
it's
fill in the
devoid
ac- so
of-
fill in the
no,
blank.
1 second.
Fill in the
sorry.
blank. It's an account,
An account
of what?
Of what? Of why it's logically consistent. Go ahead.
Contradictory.
Yeah, okay, I don't deny that.
You would deny that?
That something being
when I ask you-
non-contradictory.
no,
If you want to
when
describe
I ask you
non-contradiction
X
as an
is po- no,
account of consistency,
Calm down. You're freaking out now. X is possible if and only if what?
sorry, I'm not the one dogpiling.
X is possible. No, hey, calm down. X is possible if and only if what? You gave an account. Don't be a dog and repeat yourself.
Dogpiling to somebody asking him a question. What a
Yeah,
retard.
you've already asked it
X is
several
possible.
times.
No. Answer the question again. You forgot who you were. You're a little dog.
So the answer to your question is non-contradiction.
X is possible if and only if.
It's
logically consistent.
non-contradictory.
There's no contradiction in the obtaining. You're given an account. If you're saying it's brute, that is devoid of this explanation.
An
if it
account
has
of what?
explanation, then it's calm down.
An account of what?
If it's, of why it's logically consistent.
Yeah, great.
And logical
But that's not what I'm
consistency is a
denying.
precondition. No. And logical consistency is a precondition for something to exist. If you deny that, then you're saying something inconsistent can
No, of
exist.
course, I
You
agree
fucking
with that.
moron. Okay, then if you agree with that, keep bending down and get fucking railed every single time on every point.
Of course I
you're
agree with
fucking
that. Why do you think
retard.
I would disagree with it?
Listen, look, we have this on recording.
Look at him, he's getting fucked
He
right
did
now.
the same shit with me. He did the same dishonest shit with me. I walked him through it. He said yes.
What do you
And then
think
when I
I'm
presented
saying
him the
has no
conclusion, he
reason?
said no. What a fucking retard.
What do you think I'm saying
No.
has no reason?
Read. This thing is the epitome of retardedness. This thing agrees to all of the premises being true, but denies like conclusion.
And guess what? We literally put this in an argument form. And you cannot deny a valid
Listen,
argument.
1 minute. Listen. Discernible. I give you a simple like.
Okay,
hold on.
always. Look
What
at
do you
comments.
think
What
I'm
do you
saying
think I'm
has
saying?
no reason?
X
X?
for any given brute object.
The existence of X or non-existence.
So what's the precondition of something existing?
For some particular world, it'll be some particular experience.
No, answer my question. No, answer
Bare
my question.
logical
So you're saying
possibility.
Wait.
There
So you're
doesn't
saying
have
there's a
to be one.
possibility. There's a possible world. No. If you're saying, there's a possible world. So there's another
To
possible
in
world.
fact
where-
exist
No.
or possibly
Something
exist?
logically. No. 1 second. Something logically inconsistent can obtain.
No.
So then there's no possible
Yeah,
world.
you literally
where-
agree.
You literally
fucking
just
retard.
said this already. Now every single time when you get railed, you accept the conclusion, and guess what you do? You backtrack.
So again,
Every single
what do you think
time.
I'm saying does not have to have a reason?
If
The
you're saying
actual
X is-
existence,
No,
an actual
1 second.
non-existence of a
And
thing.
guess what? And guess what? That actual existence includes what? What's the precondition for it
The
existing?
actual existence will include its logical
And
possibility.
calm down. Answer my question. Don't be a retard. Answer my question.
What did
Don't
I just
dodge.
say?
What's a precondition for it existing?
What did I just say?
I'm gonna hear you. You're too quiet like a little bitch. Speak up.
You didn't hear me? Can you hear me now?
Speak up. Of course I can hear you, little dog. Speak up.
So you didn't hear me before?
Yeah, because
the
guess why?
precondition of a
Guess
thing
why?
being
Guess why?
possible
Because you have my
is
dick in your
logical
mouth. 'Cause
possibility.
You have my dick in your mouth. Speak up now. I took it out.
That's great. The precondition of a thing existing is
You little
logical
pussy, you
possibility.
little-
But that's not an explanation for why it actually does exist.
That's great. Wait. That's not an actual reason for why it exists. Yes, it is. It's a part of
course
the
it's
reason,
not.
obviously. Okay,
There are logically possible things that don't exist.
One second. If it has nothing to do with why it exists, then it cannot be a precondition. Because what is the precondition?
Well, if you're saying like
Fucking moron.
precondition as a
What's the
reason
precondition?
for why
Answer
it
my
in
question.
fact
If
does
you say no,
exist,
answer
then
simple
no,
question
it's
and then
not.
don't dodge. Answer my question like a little dog you are.
If
What's
for
the precondition?
listen,
if by
listen,
precondition
listen.
you think that means a
Yo,
reason why it in
retard.
fact does exist,
One minute,
then no,
hold
it doesn't.
on. Listen, look. Let me switch the variables. Hold on.
What did I just say? Can I finish what I was saying to him? If
No,
by
you little dog,
precondition you mean a
listen to me
reason
now
why
and you get
something
educated
actually
twice.
does
Anyway,
exist,
you can keep your
then
mouth
no,
open
it's
for
not.
him now. You can keep your mouth open for him now.
I
Don't
thought it
calm
was.
down,
I
please.
thought you were speaking of a necessary condition for it. But if you mean precondition
It
as in
isn't necessary. It
a
is
reason for why it in fact does
If it's
exist,
not a
no,
if it's
logical
not a
possibility
necessary-
doesn't function that way.
No, 1 second. If logical consistency isn't a necessary condition, then there's a scenario where guess what? It's logically inconsistent, but it can still obtain. If it's not a necessary
Yo,
condition,
retard.
Because
Listen,
I think
retard.
you're jumping
Look,
back and forth between two
dumbass.
ideas of what a condition is.
Yo,
jumping back and forth. I'm jumping on your
dumb
point. I'm
fuck.
railing
One
you.
minute. Look. I posted a solution to make it easier. Now listen. What do you deny?
What do you deny?
Well, I gotta read it.
What?
You're surprised I have to read it? Is that what you're surprised by?
I'm surprised you can even read, given like your fucking autism.
So
you dumb
by
fuck.
simulation,
No,
are you
shut the fuck
surprised
up.
I have to read
Shut
it
up,
before I
you dumb
respond to
fucking
it?
Read. Read like a good dog.
Done reading?
Contradict. I think contingency to be absolute.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Nigga, shut the
Do
fuck up
you
and
even
read.
know what I
you
mean by it?
Discernible, you done reading?
Contradictory. That nigga's throwing anything at the wall and hoping to God that it stinks. Like, what a fucking retard. Nigga just said anything.
Wait, by the
If
way,
X can
look at
obtain,
this,
then an account can explain as to why
he posted
X
this on his
can
channel.
obtain.
It
It is
looks
not
like
the
he's
count.
the one that's
Is
getting
it not the
educated
case
now.
that an account can
Fucking basic
explain
metaphysics.
as to why brute contingent facts can explain?
Anyways,
But
Yeah,
okay,
exactly. You're the listen. Look, whoever's paying for your classes, you gotta refund them.
so look, discernible. We provided you an argument. What permits you to deny what
Wait,
the argument?
you got
listen,
muted again.
Listen, shut the fuck up and read and examine and meditate over my syllogism and take your
Yeah,
time and
you
and
guys
tell
got to
me your
calm
issues,
down a
okay?
little.
Now listen, for the meantime, just watch over us mocking you. Read. You know
So
what's
if X
the
can
issue with this
obtain,
nigga? This nigga,
then an account.
he agrees to everything that
If
disagrees
X
with
can
him.
obtain, then an account can explain as to why X can
It's
obtain.
impossible for the premises to be true when
So
the
if
conclusion
X
is false.
can exist,
This is
then there
Joe
could be a
Smith's
reason why it
picture us,
exists. It's not the count that an account can explain as to why
It's one of
brute
his
contingents
picture
can
members.
obtain.
Wait, 1 second. Discernible. Let me see your bank statements. Do you pay $2 a
Yeah,
month or
your first
5,
premise.
10? Discernible. Pick
Your
one.
first premise, an account can obtain. That doesn't entail it has to obtain.
Where is that?
If X can obtain, then an account can explain
Wait,
as to why X
hold
can
on.
obtain.
If X can obtain, then an account can explain as to why X can obtain.
Yeah, it
You
can.
disagree with
It
that
doesn't have
conditional?
to.
Do you deny that?
But do I deny the
What
first
do you
premise?
deny?
No.
Yo, you're some motherfucker. What do you deny?
But it's well, I don't deny one, right? Things can have explanations, of course.
So they can even understand what you're reading. You read.
An account can explain
Look,
why it
discernible. This
obtains.
is going against This is going against you.
How so?
You're saying-
Premise one. I mean,
You're affirming.
He said things can have explanations, of course. What the fuck? What? That's the most trivial thing. Only saying things can be explained. Nigga, not even no, and nobody disagrees with that.
Nobody
Nigga,
denies that.
what a retard.
Discernible. Look,
Look, I don't mind your
if
gibberating,
you accept,
but when you mute me and gibberate,
if you accept, no,
right? If you do that again, I will leave.
Shut the fuck up and submit
Yeah, like
yourself.
if you
Calm
mute
down.
me and continue
No,
gibberating, and then I will leave.
Gibberating, the only one that's
Shut your
gibberating
mouth,
is
you
you.
fucking
Contradict your
retard. I give you a
contention.
simple modest tonus. Hold on, I give you a simple modest tonus. Read it. Tell me what you contend. You were like, oh, first premise, I don't know. Nobody you can explain things. What the fuck? What does that have to do with my syllogism? Are you retarded? Read.
No. If he accepts premise 1, then brute contingencies are impossible under your worldview.
Exactly. What an idiot.